Hey, today we are learning 20 common phrases that you can use in your professional emails in English. Now, learning common phrases is a great way to take your professional email writing skills to the next level. It's also going to help you write templates that you can use in lots of different situations. Let's go. All right, so first up we have the phrase, thank you for your swift response. Now the word swift just means quick or fast. You can also say thank you for your quick response or your quick reply. This is a nice, polite way to open your email. If someone has gotten back to you quickly and you're not really sure how to start, this is a nice option. Next up we have, I appreciate your help with a task or an issue. Or a little bit less formal or more neutral would be, thank you for your help with a task or an issue. This is a nice, simple way to acknowledge that someone has helped you out with a task or a problem or an issue that you were having. Even if it's a colleague who you work with and communicate with every day, this is a really nice, useful phrase to throw into your emails when someone has done something that has made your life or your job easier. Next up, we have attached is the document or file name that you requested. Attached is the document or file name that you requested. This is very common, very useful for when you have to attach a file or multiple files to your email. So just make sure to include the name of the document or file that you are attaching. So for example, you could say, attached is the latest report that you requested. Now, sometimes we find ourselves waiting for someone to get back to us, and it's necessary for us to follow up and see if everything's okay, if they've forgotten, or basically what's going on in that situation. And in this case, you could say, I am following up on something. So I am following up on our recent discussion about this topic. I am following up on the report. I'm following up on the changes to be made to this campaign. Okay, so very simple, very versatile, very useful. I am following up on something. Basically, you're checking the status of this thing, of this discussion, and you've been waiting for a while, so you need to see what's happening, what's going on. Now, let's say that someone has given you some information on something, but the information was too general or not enough, and you require some more details or some more information. You can use this phrase. Could you please provide further details regarding something? Okay, so for example, could you please provide further details regarding the application process? Okay, now this is quite a formal and polite sentence or request. If you want to be a little bit less formal, you could say, could you please provide more information on? So further details regarding or more information on, these two phrases mean exactly the same thing, but one is a little more formal and one is a little bit less formal or more neutral or conversational. Next, if you want to ask someone a question about something, you can start your email off by saying, I'm writing to inquire about something. So for example, I'm writing to inquire about your fee structure for this service. I'm writing to inquire about the services you offer for ABC. I'm writing to inquire about your application process. And this just means I'm writing to ask you about this. It's a little bit more formal, a little bit more polished, a little bit more professional. Next, we have your cooperation in this matter is highly appreciated. Now, you might use this phrase if, let's say, you're dealing with a customer or a client, you run into an issue and you're basically asking them to cooperate with you, to be patient with you, to hang in there, and you want to say thank you for that. This is a nice formal way of saying this. Now, this statement is passive voice. If you want to make it a little less formal, you can use active voice and you can say, we appreciate your cooperation in this matter. So you have two options here, a little more formal, passive voice, your cooperation is appreciated, or active voice, we appreciate your cooperation. Next is kindly let me know if you have any additional questions. This one can be used in so many different situations, in ongoing email threads, if you have provided information to a customer, a colleague, or a client, and you want them to know that the door for communication is open and they're free to contact you anytime if they have more questions. Now, next is a slightly less formal version of our last statement. It is, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Or feel free to reach out if you have any questions, okay? So exactly the same meaning as our last phrase, but a slightly less formal or more conversational alternative. Next up, I wanted to update you on some information or on an announcement, okay? So for example, I wanted to update you on some changes we made to this process. I wanted to update you on some new services that we're offering. Okay, I want to basically tell you about this information, this announcement, or an update to something. Again, this can be used with pretty much anyone, with colleagues, with clients, with customers. If you are writing to a mailing list as well, you can use this one to share an update with your database of customers. Next, we have please take a moment to review the attached document or report or whatever the case is. Please take a moment to review the attached information, document, or report. Now, if you are writing internally in an ongoing email thread, you might want to be more concise, okay? You might not need to have this full, complete sentence. And in that case, you can simply say, please review the attached or kindly review the attached. Next, we have my sincere apologies for any inconvenience this may have caused, okay? My sincere apologies for any inconvenience this may have caused. Now, if you are apologizing to a customer or client on behalf of your company or your department, you can replace I apologize with we apologize, okay? So we apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Let's say you have shipped a product out to a customer and it is delayed or you were not able to fulfill the order for some reason. You might say, we apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. And then, of course, you want to go on to offer a solution and let your customer know what you're going to do to make the situation right. Now, sometimes some topics cannot really be discussed or solved via email, and they require an in-person real-life conversation. And in such cases, you could say, I suggest scheduling a meeting to discuss this topic further, or I suggest scheduling a phone call to discuss this topic further. And then, of course, you want to propose a date and time to the other person. Now, continuing on from our last phrase, if you propose a time and date for a meeting or a phone call, you want to make sure that that is okay for the other person. And in those cases, you can use this phrase. Let me know if the proposed meeting or the proposed time works for you, or let me know if that works for you. Okay, so let's say you have suggested or proposed a meeting on Monday at 2 p.m. You can say, let me know if that works for you, or kindly let me know if that works for you, or please let me know if that works for you. Let's say you have been going back and forth discussing a challenge, a problem, or an issue with your team or with your colleagues, or even with a customer or client, and you've come up with a potential solution. Then you can use this phrase. I would like to suggest a solution for this issue. I would like to suggest a solution for this issue or for this problem or for this situation. So again, there's flexibility with these phrases. Now, of course, then you're going to follow this statement with the actual solution that you are proposing. You're going to give some more details. This would be your opening statement before you actually propose the solution that you've come up with. Now, let's say that you've been networking and you've met someone new, you've had a conversation with them, and then you want to touch base via email and maybe give them some more information that might be helpful or useful in building or strengthening your connection. You could use a phrase like this. In connection with our recent conversation, I would like to provide you with some additional context on this topic. And then, of course, you follow this by providing the context or the additional information that you wanted to share. Now, let's say you're asking someone to work on something or to collaborate on something with you. You might use a phrase like this: your expertise in this specific area would be beneficial to this project or this task. So for example, your expertise in marketing would be beneficial to this product launch. Your expertise in marketing would be beneficial to this product launch. Okay? You have to fill in the person's expertise and whatever it would be helpful with. Now, sometimes you're emailing someone back and forth about a process or a procedure, and you want to know what happens next. So a nice way of asking that, or a professional way of asking what happens next, would be, please advise on the next steps. Please advise on the next steps of this process, of this procedure, of this project. Please advise on the next steps. So this basically means tell me what is going to happen next, so I'm not waiting and I have no idea. It's a nice way to ask that. Now, let's say that you are trying to set up a call or a meeting with someone to discuss something. In this case, you want to propose a date and time. You can say, I am available to meet on this day at this time to further discuss this topic. I'm available to meet on this day at this time to further discuss this topic with you. Or I'm available for a phone call on this day at this time. And a nice option to wrap your emails up would be, I look forward to your feedback. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to your reply. I look forward to something. This one's flexible. You can change the ending of it to fit the situation. Now, if you are trying to improve your professional email writing skills, I do teach email writing in detail in my Essential English for Business course. This is an online self-study, self-paced course that's going to help you take your professional communication skills to the next level. I will link it down below so you can learn more. I also have a few other lessons on email writing, which I will link in the description for you. And don't forget to grab your free ebook, English Conversations Made Simple. All of that is linked down below. Thank you for watching, learning, and spending time here today. If you enjoyed the lesson and learned something new, please do subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I'll see you very soon in the next one.